Okay, Lanny, take it away.
Okay. All right. Well, so I thought that we would start with Red Skirt. And of course, Elizabeth, you've worked with Lori a lot on this one. Um, and so whatever you have to add to it, please jump in. Because,
Okay, and I was just saying that I just put the links to Lori's video on our link page. It's in the
oh,
Google
okay,
Drive.
great. That sounds good. And I might be able to upload, well, the video is a bit big. Anyways, I might be able to upload this section of the video. I'll see if I can slice it, but then you can see the whole ensemble playing the piece as well. I've given you guys just from page, or we've given you just from page 3. So there is an opening. There's like sort of the main melody happens on the opening page, and it's super rhythmic. And then there's an arpeggiated section that's fairly self-explanatory. You can always learn those parts. But we've given from page 3, and you can get the rest of the music on Lori's website if you want to play the whole piece, or you can ask us if you want to get the music. And I want to start with this little section. So coming into page 3, uh-oh, I hope I have the option for original sound. Remember last time I did the whole thing without original sound. So can you let me know if you can hear my harp? And how's the view? It's a little weird. Okay, good. So the harp's good. The view a little better. Is that's okay? Okay, so it comes out of this melody section. This is So that's half of the line that you see there at the top of page 3. Then there's a little bit of a space where the other harp plays and they play the same thing. So we won't worry about that right now. But then we come into this section where it's very, very light with the right hand. So we're doing triplets and it's just 1, 2, 3. And then we writ. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, so this whole triplet section is really an exercise in control. You need to start off soft. It's written lightly, it's written dolce, and then there's an a ciao, and then there's a writ on the next bar, and another writ on the last bar. Murray, I think we have your sound, but I can't mute you from my side. Maybe Elizabeth can from her side. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. All good. We're all good. It's all good. I know sometimes it stays on. Okay, so we're gonna start soft and build faster, louder, and then we slow. Okay, so this is a great exercise in control. And you can also, just practicing this, you can practice it in chunks so that you can figure out how fast and how loud you want to get, right? Now the other thing is that getting from the soft to the loud in a place like this, I'll tell you, every time we perform this, I get so excited. And I'm always looking at the second harp because the second harp plays the harmonics at the same time, but I think on different notes. And I always get so excited, I always flub the top of this this section. And it's so easy, and I always miss the top end because I'm always like over here getting excited about what else is going on stage. Um, but as you're getting louder, so really think about what you're going to do with your hands to make the softs and the louds. So you don't really have to change your technique so much just to get the louds. We really just want to have like a good contact with the strings for the soft so that you get a nice sound that's full, that's not a fuzzy sound, that's just soft, but you get a nice full sound so you've got good contact with the strings. But as you're getting louder, you're going to just squeeze more onto the strings as you're getting louder. So you're keeping your same technique, same contact, and then just squeezing a little bit more. And then a little bit less squeeze, but still maintaining good contact, so you're making good sound. Okay, now to add to this, we're going to harmonic in the left hand. Does anybody have any questions about the triplets? Or Elizabeth, do you have anything to add?
Unmuted. Just one little thing. When we have these G sharps, of course, those harmonics are going to be a bit lower than you expect because they're on a shorter string when you've got the disc engaged. So I actually wrote a little arrow under the G sharp, so I would remember that you're coming along and it's all nice. You get to the G sharp and you have to dip down a bit to make it come out nicely. So you're kind of going up and down and up between the G, the G and the F. And then back up again for the A, so you're kind of going back and forth to try and stay right in the middle of those strings.
Yeah, that's good. I've never done these harmonics here. My Salvi, a couple of these gold gut strings are just not, they will not sing at all. But as you come up, so when we're getting more like squeezy and loud with the right hand, it's really easy to get squeezy with the left hand as well. So be careful with that. As you're coming up and you're getting louder, make sure that your left hand is staying super relaxed as you're coming up. So always do this really slowly and making sure that your left hand is really coming, like as we get faster, you don't want to come off of the string very far or too far because you need to get back, but you don't want to get more tense with your arms. As you get louder with your right arm, you don't want to get more tense with your left arm, or it's going to make the harmonics difficult to play. So make sure that as you're getting louder and faster, you're still maintaining relaxation in your wrist, making sure that it's not tensing up. And then again, always just double checking where's the best position for your harmonic. Where are you guys placing? Do you want to show? Again, we've talked about this a few times. When I do my harmonic, I place about right here. I used to place a lot on the side, but I'm starting to come a tiny bit closer to the center of my palm. I feel like it's a little bonier. Elizabeth has the same part of the bone, right? Yeah. And then as you're coming off, Haley has this technique. I don't know where she learned it. I'm not sure Haley does like an okay sign at the end. I'm not sure if Marilyn taught her to do that, but Haley does like, okay, I'm okay. And it's nice and relaxed. She does this little like, okay at the end.
I've seen that in method books where they actually tell you to do this little thing, but
Yeah.
I just never found that helpful for me. Just there's one more thing to do, so I just
it does. It seems like one more thing to do, but I do feel like there's this, if you have a lot of time on your hands, not if you're doing a scale pattern, but if you have a lot of time, I feel like as soon as you do that, you sort of like release the wrist kind of from its tension point. But anyways, that's I was never quite sure, but it was just so beautiful. It makes me feel like maybe that's what I'm watching when I flub up this section. I'm going, oh, lovely okay signs over there. You're okay, I'm not okay over here. I'm messing up. Do we want to try them together? Let's start super slow and we'll build up, but we won't do it too fast. So 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so I would suggest maybe this whole little section could go like
about 10 clicks faster than that. Not too much, but it can all be a little bit more exciting. It could go a little bit faster. Shall we move on to the flamenco? Let's do it. Okay, so this next section actually is not, a lot of this is not really written out with really great notation. There's a lot of handwritten instructions, which can make it a little bit tricky. But these E's in this next section, the E's in the right hand are not E's at all. They're soundboard knocks. They're what you would normally see like a percussion. It would be like an X or like a percussion note, a percussive note. And so every time there's an E in the right hand, that's a soundboard knock. And the idea of the soundboard knock is that we want a flamenco dancer's feet sound. So Elizabeth has a lot more experience with this than I do, that's for sure.
Yes, there are different parts of the shoe.
That's right. Yeah. What do you use when you did this one?
Well, originally I think I was just gonna like just hitting it with the tips of my fingers because to me that sounded more like the sound of the plante, which is the front part of the shoe.
Hmm.
And if you slam your whole foot down, you get a golpe, which is a much sort of stronger slapping sound. But yeah, so I tended to go for because I was in my head I was thinking about the plante, so I was like going this. But then Lori said to slap it, and that's more of a golpe sound. So it's still sort of
Okay.
the foot. It's just depending on what kind of thing you're doing in your choreography.
Right.
And
Right.
when I came down to the sorry, well, like later on when it does this this the part where it starts getting more complicated.
Mhm.
That's when I went to the plante part, like with just the tips, and she said I could do that. So I went like instead of using because that just seems like you would never do that in flamenco dancing. You wouldn't be slamming your whole foot on the floor for all of that. You might do it at the
Right.
beginning, but you certainly wouldn't be doing it when you get into the more complicated because now you're using different parts of your feet.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's that. I like that very, very much. That's a good explanation. Well, so I use actually this side of my thumb. I use this bone right here, which I mean, I don't know if you guys all want to be like slapping the joints of your fingers on. I don't know if I want to be doing that either. But I do use that
Oh,
because it makes a heck of a lot of noise.
yeah,
And it's quite a pointed noise and it gives and it's just one point of attack. So what I do find with some people that I see doing the tap, so Elizabeth has got this just one point of attack with all of her fingers, and so she's hitting like a drum, one hit. But I do find that I hear from a lot of people their hands aren't exactly even, and you start to hear each of the fingers almost all hitting at the same time. You start to get not the cleanest sound that that starts to be like a little bit like fingers, like lots of fingers that can come in, and especially as it gets going faster, it has to be really careful that your fingers are just one sound. So I think when you're doing that, to be really careful about the sound that it's producing, that you're not getting a rolled sound. Although that would be cool. Right? You could. You could do a rolled sound. So I do just up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other thing is where you are on the harp makes a difference. I'm gonna just drop this a little bit. If you hit on the top of your harp, or if you hit in the center of your harp, where you hit it is going to make a real difference in the sound that you make, and you don't have to hit it very hard to make a good sound. I mean, you find a good resonant spot on your soundboard. But I do like, because we're playing down here, that doesn't make much sense to me, playing it up high, getting these high pitch sounds. It feels to me, dong, boom. I kind of feel like it needs to be a lower, darker sound. So that's where I hit it. A little bit, sort of like the middle of my soundboard. And then two. So this one Yeah, this one I'm doing this really short. So this is your choice. It's written 1 E and a 2 E and a ba 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 3 E and a 4 E and a and a 3 E and a. So it's sorry. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. But I do it a little bit short. I don't know why, but Lori seems to like it. So I think it's because when we play, we have so much percussion going on at the same time that nobody quite knows what the beat is. So then also if you're doing with your hands, so pluck, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. And the next section gets a little bit faster.
I do something a little unorthodox right there.
Yeah.
I go right, right, and then just one left hand, and the rest is all right. So I go, so it's like here, right, sorry, right, right, left. So I just go right, right, left, left, right, right, right. So I'm just doing almost all entirely my right hand, except for that one, the third one of these notes. So it looks like this. Can you see? Oh, no, you can't really see that. Hang on a second. I'm just going to do this. There. So it's like now you can see it. So it's like dum da da dum dum. So my left hand only hits once, and that gives my left hand way more time to get back down here.
Yeah.
Lori said I could do that.
Yes. This is very good. We do a lot of Lori says. Lori says this is okay. because again there's so many ways to interpret some of this music. So the rhythm here is it's rest, 2 and a 3 and rest, 2 and a 3 and 4 and rest, 2 and a 3 and 4 and. So the rest is obviously your left hand is playing the note. So 1, 2 and a 3 and 1, 2 and a 3 and. And I'm wondering if maybe I start here doing. When I play this solo, I start here doing alternating. I start to alternate my hands mostly because I get a little bit lazy of trying to hit the one hand in the same spot. I start actually alternating between my thumb and my fingers so that I can, and that's what's coming up in this next section. So if you want to try this, we're doing, Judy, you're abstaining from hitting your very precious harp. I appreciate that. I think that's smart. You should be very gentle, very gentle with the taps. I was scared about your beautiful harp. Just those gentle, loving taps. So these ones, I was just joking. You can abstain or play. If you were just watching, that's okay. So I do start in this next section. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Your left hand is playing, and so instead of doing that, I alternate so that I'm getting my hands just kind of floppy fish there.
I actually did something a little different as well. I didn't like getting like the 3 other fingers. I did the thumb, and I ended up doing it more like Deborah Hansen Conant's Baroque flamenco, where I go 1, 2. Like I'm just using my single finger, which means the second one is a little bit soft. But then when you add the left hand, it still comes out okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that because it's not a different, when you use your whole hand, it sounds like a different drum.
yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
like really different. But if you use your third
Yeah,
finger,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, or
you
yeah,
got little tippy toes.
yeah. The third finger's good. I was using my second finger, but the third finger's better. I don't even know if I can change it now. No, I can't. Brain went.
No, you're using your second, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
That
yeah,
has a good sound.
yeah,
I think I get more knuckle maybe with my,
yeah. I definitely get that side bone on my thumb though. You know that bone, like you mentioned. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, well, anyways, the point is there are many different ways to do this. You can really play around with it. Now, the left hand, this is a little bit of a tricky technique, and this is actually really useful technique for lots of everything else that we do, like particularly Baroque music, when you want to have just like clean bass sounds. So this is a very useful little section. I can't see it because my thing is in the way. Elizabeth just played the start of it. It's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So the question is, how much slap can we do? So in Baroque music, of course, we don't want to be slapping the strings when we come back. In Baroque music, you'd want to, right, just muffle as you come back in. But here she's asked for like a slap technique. So as you come back in to stop the strings, we want to slap the strings. So we have a full quarter note. So we have ta, res, ti, ti, ti. So ta, res, ti, ti, ti. And I do my thumb for the first note. I actually do the second note. I don't do it with my thumb. I do it with my second finger. You can do it with your thumb if you don't play too fast. But once it gets going quite fast, it to me just becomes really hard on my hand. So I got rid of that. Plus, there's just so much of that going on. Any chance you can get to just get your second finger. I assume, Elizabeth, you're doing the same, right?
exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
from an old. I think Salcedo came up with it in one of his muffling preludes in the method book or Pathfinder or something like that. And I've been
Right.
using it ever since. Like when I first did that muffling exercise, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm using it for so many different things because you don't have to move. You're just going like, so you're just,
Yeah.
you
And
can
it
get that, and it's
sounds,
upside down. Your hand's upside down for sure. But it's you don't have to actually leave that little neighborhood there. You get to just sort of hover, and you don't have to move much, and it makes it much easier.
yeah. 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 And then while you're doing that, oh, that's what I do. I do 1, 2, ba, 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 ba. I do fish and then straight fish. That's my technique. So I'm actually just varying it. I probably just did whatever my brain would let me do in the moment and then learned it. Oh, because I want some accent. Okay, and then here, this is now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth bar, again, I do 2 and then 1. So when I do my second finger, but then when we hit the 8th note rest, I muffle and then pluck my thumb, and then thumb, thumb. Yeah, I do thumb, 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 2, thumb, 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 thumb. So I don't know if Elizabeth, do you have a different
I
fingering?
think so. I have to remember. Let me see. I think I start with my third finger down here, and then I go 2, 3. So these are 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So the top one's the only one I'm using my thumb for. The other two I'm using 2 or 3. So my E is always a 2, and I think the D is always a 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I use 2 again for the F. So it sort of looks like Maybe I start with this. I don't think so. That's what
Yeah,
you ended up doing.
that sounds great. I love this. I love this.
It's a great little bit in there. I mean, I really, really enjoy playing this little bit in here.
It's so, yeah,
It's very satisfying.
it's so fun to play, and you can hear the difference between Elizabeth's got like this really clean, like everything is really, your rhythm is like super accurate. And I think when I'm doing it, it gets a little like super accented in here. But I'm liking the clean. So I kind of do like these bubbles of so that my right hand is going with the left hand. But in that, it can sort of become a wash of sound. So it's really what kind of a texture you want in here, and you can do it differently each time. You have a couple of times that it comes up. Very
Lonnie,
cool. Yeah.
can you show us how you do the mutes in the left hand?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, very slowly. I'll start from the beginning of that section. So this is line, or I guess bar 92. Are you guys able to see those? These are like, I had to like get my magnifying glass to see that. So I'm doing thumb. I don't know if this is very easy to see. Maybe how's that view? Is that better? So I'm doing a thumb, two. So when I do my two, I'm actually stopping kind of with my thumb, but not my whole thumb, kind of just from here, you can see. So I come in flat hand, for no good reason. You don't really need to start this section flat hand. I think I just do because it's habit. And then when I do my second finger, I just kind of like lazily put my thumb on the string that I just plucked. Two, and then thumb, thumb.
I do something else as well right there. So I start with and then I use the flat part of my second finger to dampen. So I go like, and I come in with, I'm aiming for my second finger, but it's the rest of my palm here, the second finger, that's dampening that previous note. And then I'm coming back in again with my palm, but my thumb is coming to the D. So it's thumb, and then palm down, and then the second finger, and then palm down again, and then these two. Like that's how I've been doing it. But
Yeah.
you could probably choose any kind of way you want to.
Yeah, I like that. It keeps your hand flat. Yeah, I like that. And then so that happens twice, that section, and then the next section, this is bar 94, and I find bar 96. I do two. So you pluck your second finger, and then on beat two, I muffle. And then the and of two, I pluck with my one. And then I'm actually, so Elizabeth does 2, 3, which I like that, Elizabeth. I think that's really smart. I think the reason is because it's really hard to get that B with your thumb. So 2, 3, and then thumb. And then again, you come in with a 3, 2, thumb, 2, 3. So every time you come in, even if you're using your second finger, your third finger, you're coming in really flat hand as you come in. So again, starting from that second section, bar 96. So it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then a muffle right away. And these muffles, every time you come in with a muffle, it really should be punchy. So, like really you want that almost a harmonic sound to come off the strings. Just a really like nasty sound. It doesn't it doesn't actually have to be a nasty sound, but you do want to come in just with like a bit of a hit on the strings. And then this basically stays, the pattern is the same until you get to the last 3 bars of this page, and it comes down and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So at the bottom of the page, we're just going like thumb, 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 and just one hit in the right hand for each of those.
One
So
thing I
that's-
just thought would help me a little bit as far as staying in rhythm with that thing was when I hit it, I left my fingers on the soundboard until I needed them again. So I went bump, stay,
Oh.
stay, stay, so that I didn't come off again right away. And that gave me a feeling more being more grounded on those beats. It was probably
Yes.
just survival.
That's smart. No, that's smart. It also makes it makes a fuller sound too, as your hand like stays on the soundboard rather than the hit kind of throws the sound out. So that kind of fills the space of the rest. Okay, the next page, this is the fun part. And this is going to segue us into the next piece if we still have time here. I don't know what time it is right now. Oh, 7:32, okay. Okay, so the next one, I hope that we're able to read it. The chords are written, it's written so hard to, because there's so many ledger lines here. But the chords are E. So, and I forgot to say we need a G sharp because we've been so busy talking about smacking the harp that I didn't mention. I didn't mention the levers. So this next section, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So we want to come in a muffle. It's an E chord, and D, and E, and muffle. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. And you can muffle with your whole hand. I guess it kind of depends on what harp you have. You're supposed to, Lori wants you to muffle with your right hand. I think that's what I do. Oh yes, I do muffle with my right hand. Full right hand muffle at the end. Okay, so E, D, E. Next bar same. E, D, E. Next bar. E, D, E. F, E, D, E. Okay. But the right hand, are you guys good with that? Any questions about those chords? And just really with these chords, you know, just kind of hook your fingers and let your wrist pop off so that you're not overworking your left hand, because you're going to overwork your right hand in a minute. So really just really let your left hand just really relax and just get your fingers right in those strings so that you're not just really trying to like get your fingers off so much. Just let your wrist give you the rhythm as you're going. Now the right hand is going to strum. So here's where it gets tricky. And the right hand is going to strum over top of what you're doing with the left hand. Okay, so has anyone played like a ukulele or a guitar before? Okay, so the strumming's maybe new. Okay, so Elizabeth is good. So for these strums, we're going to go up with our fingers, and I go up with I go up with all 4 of my fingers or 3 of my fingers, to be honest. I go up like this and then down sideways. Okay, so I see Elizabeth goes this way. So you can go this way. That's totally fine. Across the strings, that would look like this.
That's what Lori tried to get me to turn sideways, but I kept catching cuticles, and I thought, you know, it's killing me. Forget it. My hands are too dry. So I just went back to it.
No, I felt the same way. Okay, I was like in tears doing these because I have such soft nails that it like never felt good. So if it doesn't feel good, you can just like you can use your fingertips. If it really doesn't feel good,
Well,
yeah, you don't.
You know, I figure she's getting the
You're
nails.
using that.
You know, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, That like you're slapping someone across the face.
Yes, yeah, and actually that actually works really nicely. So we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and oh sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 4 and I can't do that technique, or I can't count myself. I'm gonna switch back to my other. So the strums are gonna go one
Can I
and
ask a
two.
quick question?
Yeah.
The strum up, should it be with the thumb fingernail and the strum down with all the other nails if you're doing it with the nails? Because if I'm
So
doing the up with the hand, it'll be the pads of the fingers.
That's
So
right.
thumb up, nails down, thumb nail
yeah,
up, other nails down.
Oh,
yeah,
did she
yeah.
say to strum it with your nails both ways?
I think no, that no, Lori doesn't, she didn't want, I did try that for a while, but I think the thing is that coming up with the thumb, unlike on the guitar where you've got like, or on the ukulele, you have a good like a trajectory to get your thumb up, but here somehow you have to turn your hand so much, or you clip the side of your thumb. And so it doesn't work as at the speed that we really want. But it could be like a pick. You know, if you ever wanted to strum like a pick with just thumb, second finger, that works quite nicely actually for
Okay,
strums.
I'll give that one
Yeah,
a whirl.
yeah, you can do that. I think, to be honest, when I come up with these strums, because I do them sideways now, I come up sideways too. So I'm coming up kind of with the sides of my fingers. I don't think I'm even turned so much this way now. I think I'm coming up. I'm coming up this way, coming down this way. It's like a little hello, like that.
And actually,
What was that? A little
yeah, so
snake
Lori
head.
did Lori did a video just exactly on this spot. So the link is in the on the links page that I just put on today.
Yeah, yeah,
So you can
it's good.
actually
And
see how she does it. And
it's great to watch her do it. But Lori's fingers are like 100% different than I remember just sitting there going like, how am I supposed to do that with these? Like, it's just not the same. It just is not. So that took a long time for me. Now, the next thing that takes a little bit of time is just go slow because you're playing over top of these notes. So, okay, so it clips the notes. Depending on the harp you're playing, sometimes that sounds really amazing and sometimes it doesn't sound as good. I find that on like big pedal harps with the gut strings, it doesn't sing in the same way that maybe a Dusty Strings does for this kind of pattern. But play around with it. So we're going pluck, strum, strum, pluck, strum, strum, pluck, strum, pluck. So it goes up, down, down, down. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Two, three, four. This is the fun part. Okay, so this next section at 116, we pluck the chord, gliss, 2. Now you don't have to land exactly on these notes. So that's important. Don't try to get from the F to the F. It's approximate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this last one, it's not really written very well, but hello.
Could change the rehearsal to 8:30?
We can change it to 8:25. So it's not really written. It's written on the end, like just coming into the 4. But I've never done that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. I don't know. Elizabeth, did you talk with? We've always just done it on the 4th
right on the
beat.
4th, like the way I've always done it. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like sort of right on the 4th,
Yeah,
like bam.
it's written, yeah, in the next bar. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, no, that's something else. Yeah, it's, yeah, we've always done it.
On mine, anyway, I've got the original copy. I know that she keeps changing the editions, but mine does start right on 4. And that comes, like the end of it is on the E and like on the second 16th of the 4th beat.
4E and I see. Yes,
Yeah, so
thank
it's
you. I
one,
had to lean into that one.
2, 3, 4.
Yes, yes, it is written on the 4th beat. Exactly. Okay, good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Gliss up, snap. Okay, so you gliss up and then just a quick strum. Okay, and like the shorter the better, so that it's really percussive. So you're just kind of breaking up your strum. And so the pattern goes for forever and ever until the end where you do okay, until the end of the page when you can start to get excited because your cadenza of glisses is coming up and you can go crazy with your glisses all over your harp, whatever you would like to do. This is your gliss cadenza. It is your choice. And so I really recommend just like playing around each day with your glissandos and kind of seeing like what sounds can you make. You know, when you get like really pinchy with your fingers, what kind of sounds do you make? Or when you get flat with your fingers, what kind of sounds are you making? They're all different. Or using multiple fingers, or stopping out notes underneath, like what's that called, a trino?
No, that trino is when you do this, right?
Oh, it's the, oh yeah, what was this one called? The milk something, I can't remember. Anyways, there was something. Anyways, this is like a very popular Latin American gliss where you gliss with your second finger, but you stop the note, like you muffle underneath the gliss with your third finger. So as you come up, you're kind of stopping the sound. Good. So there we go. Coming out of this gliss section, it's just you know, just chords. So I'll just quickly run through it. It's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, so just big. You've got a sixth happening in your right hand and an octave in your left. Oh, sorry, change the note. And so I think I do it. I don't know how I do it. Right? Yeah, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, gliss and stop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, gliss, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, we do it differently on stage. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 1, gliss, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then we play chords. Just a scale of thirds. Okay, so now we're on bar 145.
Oh,
And
Lenny, I just wanted to tell you what I came up with this. When you get up to the top after you've done this thing, I take the first chord in that bar with my left hand. So now my left hand is just going. So I just go like a. So that way, when I'm doing all this like dum dum dum, this stuff here. And it just like made a world of difference to me than having to turn around on my right hand at the top of that after you're doing all these chords.
oh, playing the strums with the left hand.
So no, I'm doing the strums just as she says, but I'm doing the chords like
With your left hand.
with my left
Oh.
hand. So the first one, the B chord, is in my left hand now instead of my right hand.
I see.
Right,
Yeah.
right, 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 left, right.
Smart.
So then all these are left, 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 left.
Yes, that's very smart. I do actually all right on the chords and all left on the glisses, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I think, but maybe not. Maybe I did. I think my left side doesn't work as fast. I couldn't get the chords. So yeah, I do the same thing. I take all of the chords with one hand.
Yeah.
And all of those little glisses. So that's at 145. chord, gliss, chord, gliss, chord, gliss, chord. Or it's not even a gliss, it's a strum.
Yeah.
Just a fast strum backwards. Chord, strum, chord, strum, chord, strum, chord, and 1, 2. And then we land on the chord. And 1, 2, chord. It goes all the way to the end of the 2 bar, and 1, 2, chord. So if you're not going too fast, you can just keep going all the way down. You don't have to stop on that F. You could go all the way down to your left hand plays the A. If you're doing a left hand glissando, if you're doing a right hand glissando, you can go all the way down to the chord, basically, if you want to. Yeah. Is that what you do, Elizabeth? You could do right
And
hand?
just and the other thing she didn't really make clear was the first strums are with the nails like this, and the last one is the thumb, right? So she goes
Yes.
nails,
It's a regular
nails, nails, thumb, and then I just happen to be still using my right hand, so I just go to, and I take the 2 bottom A's here, the 2 gut A's, and then I do that. But actually, this makes sense to come down with your left hand. So maybe I'll try to switch to what you're doing so that I've got the strums going with my other hand instead.
That it goes, yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like it has that. But I think I don't think I control it that much because I'm usually like sweating when I play. So I think I go down and I do like I toss it away so that it hits the second beat and 1, 2. So it's just this wash of sound. But if you're playing it solo, that doesn't make as much sense. It's nice to be controlled to have the sound. And then I do these all with my right hand, but of course you can do gliss, snap, or right hand gliss, left hand snap. It's up to you. I do it all with my right hand, all of these strums, for whatever reason. So I do and strum, gliss, strum, and then it's a chord and chord and chord. And then you hit your
let
type
it
of
ring. So the last one.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you get fired if you if you don't LV. It does say LV there. So and then hit. Ba ba ba. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And then applause.
That that is the like last half of Red Skirt. So there we go. Okay, so we also have the opening of Baroque Flamenco in the package. And basically, you know, the strumming that we just talked about. Oh, we have the cadenza? Oh,
Yeah, you put in the first page on the cadenza part. The one thing I have to
cadenza.
mention, I was teaching it to one of my students in China, and she had a lesson on it with Dan Yu, and Dan pointed out that there's some places where the pedals are missing.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's places where there should be a B flat and back to a B natural that aren't in the part,
Yes.
and they're sort of scattered here and there, and I had never noticed it.
I think it's in the opening. Yeah, I think people sometimes just do it and then
Yeah.
I think it's in the opening, in the introduction.
Yeah, it's here and there. There's a
There's
few places, yeah.
a pedal missing for sure. Do you want to talk about this, Elizabeth?
I guess that this is such a commonly played piece by so many kids and so many students. And one of the things that they always get criticized at master classes is like overshooting the area that you're supposed to be. So the melody in this is like da, 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 you know, so it's like you're supposed to hear the notes. So you're going around these notes with your pads, and so you want to hear, that's the note you want to hear. You want to hear dum bum ba da dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. So if you're way over here, you're not going to hear any of that. So when you are practicing it, you really have to just stay in that tiny little area that are marked. You know, that's where the black notes are. No further, and that's really hard to control. So you have this, and And then here, this is where the B flat should originally happen. Oopsies, not there yet. Not that one, but the second beat. Oh, sorry, blah. There, so and then you do that again with the B natural. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm lost. Anyway, so there's the B flat right in there on the second beat, and then you come back to the, this is all B natural again. Sorry, and then this is all B natural. And I'm terrible at it. And then you finally have this. But that is the tricky thing, is
Well-
trying to get them right in just that tiny little spot right in the middle.
Yeah, so my problem is that I've done this a few times, like added this flamenco pattern into my cadenza. So trying to play exactly what she wrote here is sometimes my hand does something different. But for me, from the beginning of this little cadenza bit, it's getting the G actually is where I usually don't get my G. That's where I lose the note. It's the bottom
Are you talking
note.
about the cadenza?
Well, both of them, like in the, I always get the top note. It's getting that bottom note for me is a little bit tricky. And to be honest, because I'm a little bit shorter, once I get my fingers on there, I have to kind of turn a little bit. And some people just hold right at the bottom. But for me to get a good strum in that octave, I need to turn my whole body. So I've even done it up here. So I can, which gives me the chance to get, so if you're a bit shorter, that might be a helpful hint, is if I hold down here, my hand, I have to really stretch it to get that
Yeah, I have to bend my
strum.
fingers back out of the way.
Yeah, yeah, but from up here, if I'm just holding the strings like really lightly, so I've got, it's hard to see there. I'm holding the strings up here. So sometimes I've done that. But you have to be careful you're not getting other notes too though. This is the one that gets everybody. That's where it should be B flat, right? B natural
Is
and
one spot where there's a B flat, it's just far on the second
oh. No, this one's okay.
beat. These are all B naturals.
Yeah. So you guys are okay with what we're actually doing here? We didn't really explain that we're holding the fingers on all the four notes around the triad that we want to strum. So when you're practicing this, especially the last line where you're going G, G, A, F, G, A. So try practicing just your right hand so that you know your right hand is landing on the right fingers, and then practicing your right hand, but practice without your fingers on the harp so that you can see G, A, F, G, A, F, G, A, F, G, A, F. You want to see those strings ringing when you're strumming. You want to make sure that those notes are ringing. So that sounds like a hot mess, but you want to see that that's happening.
I think if you play them just so you can hear what you're supposed to be hearing, I think it helps to get in your ear. That's what it's supposed to be being played, and that's why you have everything else around it supposedly to dampen it. So you're trying to get them. In fact, you can just slow it right down and just go. And just try, if you can just hear those three notes, and if you can, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, do you just use one finger?
No, I think I'm just hitting it like the back of my hand, like the three fingers, just the way I was doing the other one. Just like the back of my hand, like I'm,
Yeah. Now
this fly or something.
definitely in this sequence, this sounds better. Really, at the flat of the hand, I find sounds a lot better than sideways because you really want that like flamenco guitar sound. But why does that sound wrong? Da, na, na, na. Hey, it's wine time. I love it. I love it. So, so my son came in here and stole my cell phone. Well, we have a couple more minutes. Are there any questions about Baroque flamenco? About the strumming patterns?
I have a question. When you're coming up on the strum, what is your hand like? Because I know the downside, but do you close your hand or do you keep the same position and not close it?
I'm just
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Elizabeth closing, well, we're probably closing about the same amount, right? As
I'm just flapping
do
it
you
back and forth.
do you close all the way into
I think I do
a harp
actually.
fist?
I think I do. And then yeah, it's coming all the way in. I think.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just doing this back and forth like this.
Let me see what so I have no control that way. So when I do it that way, I'm like it's kind of all over the place. So I'm doing this direction. Yeah, I'm just coming in. So again, it's just like hello. Hello. It's like that's as far as it comes in as it goes out. And then just straight this way.
Well, one thing I do want to bring up is in the flamenco cadenza, it looks like she's using 5 fingers. So in the just where that starts, she has this thing, and then she goes. So she's going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like not one. Sorry, there's no thumb. Just it's exactly like playing a guitar when you go like that on a guitar. So that you still use you can use your baby finger. So you have this, and then
Yes. Hmm.
so you just
Right.
strum all of them in succession. I think somewhere in her notes she says something about that.
Yes, that's a good. Yeah.
So it's just like a guitar where you just do that.
Hmm. Yeah, and it takes a lot of.
You get a stuff.
They spend so much time, just like us with our arpeggios, right? Making sure that every single note is like really heard. That's good.
And then in the third bar of this is where you want your B flat again. So this is in the third bar of this cadenza. There's a B flat, and then I think you keep that B flat until M. So you have this B natural at the beginning, and then you switch to the B flat right here, right? Because that's where you need that sound. And then up, down, and then down, down, and then you put the B natural back on for the next thing. That was something, like I say, I never noticed this until my student had that lesson with Dan Yu.
Yeah, yeah.
Things you pick up along the way.
That sounds really good. So I put Galway Girl. So just before our lesson, I put a version of Galway Girl that's from the Irish sessions.
Oh, yes.
There are three versions of it, and I put the one that's a little bit similar to this. The original version that I put in is my own lead sheet. It says Galway Girl lead sheet. That was mine. But today I put another Galway Girl in, and it's got just the reel. So Galway Girl is an Irish reel, so it's a fast four, dancey. So I don't know it, but it looks like it's missing some notes too on the end. Maybe I'll find a better copy and put it in again. But I put the actual Irish reel so that you have it. And there are chord changes that you can play around with to use it. But what I did put in originally is Galway Girl, and this is my lead sheet from Ed Sheeran's version. So this is our pop, Irish pop. And the reason I put it in is because when Janelle and I did this together, I just kind of improvised. And like the last four chords in the second ending at the very end, you can just repeat those chords forever. It's a great interlude. It's a great introduction. B, A, G, and D. It's like a perfect interlude, an ending, an introduction. You can play around with that. But when I did do this, Janelle had some crazy patterning that she was doing with the chord changes. So she was holding, for her D major chords, she was holding a C7. So that she was holding the four notes, thank you, the four notes around the D chord, and she was da 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 I can't really sing it, but ba 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 da ba ba da 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 da. And B chord, A, and G, and D, right? So if you do it up a little bit higher, it's a little bit easier. Here's our B chord. I'm holding an A7 for a B chord, G7 for an A chord, F7 for a G chord, C7 for the D chord. So okay, so it's something like kind of fun to play around with, because if you ever find yourself like at a harp circle and you want to do something a little bit fun, so that's something fun to do in your accompaniment that nobody ever really does. So so we can maybe, if we have time, in one of the last classes, we can play around with Galway Girl and take a look at some accompaniment stuff.
There's a wonderful video in an airport where there was a flight that was delayed, and there was an Irish band sitting around waiting to go on this flight, and they all just brought out their instruments and began singing Galway Girl. And it's just this wonderful thing where everyone starts, singing along with them, and that's when I fell in love with that song. And my husband gave me a ukulele a few years ago, and so I took it up to the cabin with my family and was playing Galway Girl on this ukulele. So
I
this
love
is actually a
that.
really it's a fun little way to play the harp, is just to try to think about where the chords are if you can strum them like that. Good practice
Yeah.
for placing.
It's really good placing practice. Yeah. Yeah. And just thinking about the C7 with the D chord, like it is really good brain work. So enjoy that. And we'll leave it if we have a chance in the last class, then is next week the next lesson our last
It's the next one is
lesson,
May
I
the
believe.
20th, and that's week 5, and then we're going to be going through, I think,
Oh, we
the
have a
first
week
page of
6.
the Mozart flute and harp concerto, just because it's a great little technical exercise. And then we could actually do some more on Galway Girl for that one as well if we want to. And I've got some stuff from the Renier, and I'll have to check our file and see what else is in there.
That
And then
sounds
after
good.
that is the last one on June the 3rd, and that's usually the time when people perform. And if we can throw in some extra stuff just in case. And originally I thought I might be on the boat by then, but Ross has got a dental problem, so we'll probably not have left yet.
Good and bad.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording at this point, if I can just find.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody.